I hate Trump for a number of reasons. I don't have to go through them all. But here's one of them. Uh, Nearly a million, 1 million kids, 1 million children, Americans, low income kids, are scheduled to lose automatic access to free school lunches under a proposal from this murderous asshole, Donald Trump. See, what he's trying to do is to limit the number of people receiving federal food stamps or the equivalent of food stamps. They're not stamps anymore, but I'll use that term. Um, Advocates say even more than a million kids, advocates for feeding our children, for Christ's sake. I don't believe I'm sitting here talking this shit. I just don't believe I am talking about the Trump bastard is trying to eliminate a million plus kids off the free school lunch program. That fat fuck has never had to worry about stuffing his face in his entire life. I hope he keeps doing it. Keep eating, Don. Keep stuff more cheeseburgers into your pie hole. Come on. And what about I know, how about some pies and ice cream and french fries and onion rings? Come on, you miserable bastard. Eat it up. Lost my train of thought there. Advocates for the school lunch program say even more kids could lose free meals as the cuts in the food stamp program ripple across low income schools. But the Trump administration, led by this overblown fat pig Donald Trump, say, no, those concerns are way overblown. No, no. The Trump gang is working to trim the cost of food assistance programs and close what Trump and his pig bastards who work for him, including the overfed Sonny Perdue, who's the head of the Agriculture Department, former governor here in Georgia, they view these as loopholes regarding who qualifies for school lunches. And they're going to make that determination, not families with kids who otherwise would go hungry. Oh, fuck them. Trump and the bastards who worked for him will be making this decision. Kids whose families are on federal food stamps automatically get free lunch at school. Okay? A new government analysis has estimated that 982,000, that's almost a million, of these students would lose that qualification if the Trump plan passes. It has to get through Congress. But you never know about those sons of bitches in Congress. The new analysis about how many kids will lose food stamps, school lunches, has school nutrition experts, charities that help the poor, like Jesus told these dirty bastards to do. Jesus? Who's he? Right. And even the American Bar Association says that the proposal will needlessly harm low-income children and challenge the schools that serve these kids. One of the biggest problems that teachers face. And Kathy and I have had a couple of friends who taught in the Atlanta or one of the surrounding counties' public school systems. One of the biggest problems that the teachers face when they deal with low-income kids is there's more going on with the children than just low income, or a divorced family or a food shortage or whatever the hell you want to call it. The kids come to class with all sorts of psychological problems, emotional problems, when you consider what they're coming from. And then to be told that they can't eat. This is America. I want you to pay close attention. This is the United States of America. And we are in the process, this filthy administration is in the process right now, of denying school lunches, food, fucking food, to 1 million plus children whose families receive food stamps. Sitting in class hungry. That's the title of the article that appeared in USA Today. Schools wary of Trump plan to end free school lunches for some. How can you say to children, I mean this seriously. I'm not trying to be glib or flip or my usual foul-mouthed self here. I'm asking a straight-up question. How can you say to children, you can't have food? Not because you're a bad kid, not because you're institutionalized, not because this, that, or the other thing, but because your family can't afford food, so you can't have it, and we are not going to provide it for you. How do you do that? How the fuck do you do that? Well, there must be a way to do it because it's being done. Let me turn the page. I get very upset about stuff like this, you know. The children at risk of losing automatic free lunches are connected to some of the approximately 3 million people expected to lose their food stamps, officially known as the SNAP program, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, under the Trump plan, which was released in July. I remember talking about it back in July. 3 million people, no food stamps for you. No food for you. And this bloated shithole of a president, can you imagine Trump, somebody saying to that rat bastard, you can't have any food? No, you can't. Some critics worry that this whole idea could imperil a special provision for some high-poverty schools used to provide universal free meals to all students without collecting any paperwork. Why the fuck should there be paperwork? A kid shows up at 7 o'clock in the morning when they give out the free breakfast. What, is a kid supposed to bring in a note? A note from who? The fear of these people who provide this, as kids lose access to free lunches via the SNAP program, their schools could drop below the threshold for the government to pay for everyone's lunches. Miss Fitzsimmons again, Crystal Fitzsimmons, said to move families who have asked for this assistance, food stamps, away from benefits and away from school meals is only going to increase the number of kids who are sitting in class hungry and increase school lunch debt. People who have opinions about this proposal can submit their comments by November 1st. That's 4 days from now. And I'm sure they made the announcement back in July that you had until November 1st to submit your comments. But this article appeared in USA Today online at 4 p.m. Eastern Time yesterday, the 27th. 5 days from the deadline. Of the nearly 1 million children whose households would lose food stamps, the Department of Agriculture's Food and Nutrition Service estimates nearly half of them will still qualify for free lunch if their families fill out the applications. Oh, Well, that only leaves 500,000 who won't have free lunch or breakfast, and 500,000 more who may be able to get a free lunch but not a free breakfast if their parents, if they have parents, fill out the proper forms. Another 500,000 children would lose their automatic free lunches and be eligible only for reduced price meals, which cost 40 cents for lunch and 30 cents for breakfast. Why, Mike, that's only 70 cents a day. That's only $3.50 a week. That's only $14 a month. That's only $150 a year. That's right. That's all it is. How would you like to be unable to give your kids 70 cents a day to have breakfast and lunch? The families of these kids also would have to apply for those benefits. Another 40,000 children now receiving free meals would have to switch to paying the full cost of a school lunch. What does that cost now? About $1.50, $2 a day, something like that. The Trump proposal would cut off food stamps to people who qualify now only because they are enrolled in food assistance programs run by their state. Those people live in states with slightly more generous eligibility guidelines than what the food stamp program requires. Agricultural Secretary Sonny Perdue said, all these loopholes have got to be closed. Fuck these children. To hell with them. I'm a Christian. And Jesus said, get off your ass and go to work if you want to eat. What did Pastor Hagee say? If they don't work, they don't eat. Remember him? Actually, what he said is, they can starve. That's a Christian pastor with hundreds of thousands of followers on the TV. Filthy sons of bitches. And some of you people still wonder why the Christian religion as it's practiced in modern America turns my fucking guts into poison. God. Perdue also said the move would trim $25 billion from the nutrition assistance program over 10 years. Well, goddamn Jesus fucking Christ. Isn't that wonderful? Why, by God, that's $2.5 billion a year. Yeah, we can put that into the war budget. This is
Greetings, truth seekers. It's that time of year again. Time to help your humble and obedient podcaster keep it lit by keeping the lights on in the Malloy studio with a podcast pledge drive. All October, we are giving away freebies, goodies, and gifts as thank yous for subscribing or renewing your Malloy podcast at the Trump recession level reduced price of $49 a year. It's a different giveaway each week, truth seekers. Everything from an autographed copy of Mike's book, Colored Ice Cream, to my holiday baked goods. Already have a Malloy podcast? Well, it makes a great gift. And remember, podcast subscribers also get exclusive access to the weekend bonus shows, which might be hosted by Mike or by me. We even have a teen show coming up featuring Molly and her friends. Just visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe or renew today. Keep it lit.